Grand Rising. So they threw something out. I don't even know how the fuck this. They threw it out because this shit was tucked way over here, and they have their ways of telling me when they want me to do a video or be verbal about a company. Okay, good. All right. Okay, I got to record this video, Zoo. All right, so, son, we not doing all that right now. I ain't even got no, hold on. I ain't got no clothes on. Let me put some shorts on or something real quick. So, what year was this? This was 2024, early 24, because I only worked there for like 3 days. Because my spirit told me to leave. And then I was having issues with child care as well, because I told y'all that every child care that I was taking my child to, there was a problem. They won't treat my baby right. But this is a W-2 from 24. And it had to be 24 because it won't 23. So Sirchie, this is what they want me to tell y'all about today, because I hadn't thought about them, and I think I gave y'all some little hints. Hold on, Zoo, I'm coming. I think I had gave y'all some little hints about them. Zoo, I'm coming too. I got to get in the shower. I got to do some little work real quick.
Mom, spiders made a web to the stuff.
All right, come on. Let me put some shorts on while you can ride your bike out there while I do this. All right, so I believe that I told y'all a little bit about them already. But they told me that I need to do a separate video. So here is this separate video, because I won't think about these motherfuckers. I won't thinking about them. So my team, God, my team, my ancestors, you know, my team in the spiritual realm has given me instructions this morning to be verbal about my experience at this company. Okay, and like I said, I only worked there for I don't know, it was like a day, really, for real. It was like a day, because we started on like July the 3rd, and then the holiday was the next day. And then I was supposed to go to work the other 2 days of that week, but I didn't, because my spirit told me something was off. And I knew when once I got in there. I knew before I got in there, but y'all know I told y'all one of my superpowers is playing dumb. And so I be playing dumb for these motherfuckers. Hold on, Zoo. So the first thing is called Sirchie Acquisition Company. That goes with company, my bad. Sirchie Acquisition Company, LLC. Their address is 100 Hunter Place, Youngsville, North Carolina, 27596. Now, I applied for this job on Indeed, and this is when I was applying for a lot of jobs on Indeed for a way to make money, and at this point, because I was having so many problems with getting a position in my field, which is accounting, I was just like, fuck it, I'll just take something right now. And so they called. They sent me they sent me an email, or they sent me something through Indeed, and told me that I had an interview and all of that good stuff. All right, they won't pay much, but I know that this was some organized crime, and it was set up just for them to try to get information about me, information about what was going on. They started as soon as I got in the door. All right, so the first red flag, because I wasn't gonna go at all. I went to the interview. She offered me the job. The pay was like $7 and some change. I I can't disclose anything about what the company does or anything like that, but y'all can research the company and find out what they do and all that good stuff. I know that I just can't say nothing about it because that was a part of, like, we can't, they got some type of non-disclosure or some type of shit where you can't say nothing about what the company does and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna tell y'all the name of the company, and I gave y'all the address, so get them under investigation too. And the first red flag was after the interview, my spirit told me something was off. All right. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm not, because I had to go take the drug test. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to take the drug test. I'm not going to go. Fuck it, I'm not going to take the job. So this was the first red flag. Stop, Zoo. Slow down. They gave me a start date, although I hadn't went and taken the drug test yet. So it was a sense of urgency for them to get me in that building. And then, for me to get in that building, for them to plan something, an attack, okay? Plan an attack and get some information. That was the plan, okay? But they failed. But, so when she was like, I was like, well, I haven't went and taken the drug test. She was like, it's okay. You can take it. You can go take it after, on the day, on your first day on the job. You can go take the drug test then, okay? So I thought that was strange because one of the conditions of employment was that you had to pass the drug test first, because at the interview she was like, well, once you pass the drug test, then everything will be then we'll let you know your start date. But then I didn't go take the drug test, but they still offered me the job. So I was like, why is these people, this is before I knew what the organized crime was, and that that they was plotting and planning. So they was trying to get information, they was trying to plan an attack. All right, but this was before I knew. So I was like, why is they, that's strange. They offered me the job, like they gave me a start date and told me to come to work, and I ain't went to the drug test. Like, I haven't passed the drug test. So I went, and the lady, so it's the lady in HR. I can't think of her name right now. I got some emails somewhere, Wendy. And then there was a blonde lady at the front desk. I know what everybody looked like. I can't think of everybody's names right now, but I know on my Indeed profile, I got their names in there. And I got emails, actually. I got their emails from the HR lady who actually went on vacation. Because we had the orientation. So they called me in for the orientation. And we did the walkthrough. And then we started, like, I don't know if it was a week. I gotta look at it and see, so I can remember exactly how it went. Because we came in, I think we did the orientation and we started that same day. Yeah, we did the orientation and we started that same day. Or the next day. It was the orientation that day, and then we started the next day. Okay? And they got cameras, so y'all can see. But like I said, they offered me the job. Because at the interview, she said that I needed to pass the drug test first before, I could get a start date. But I didn't go take the drug test. And so I was just like, fuck it, I ain't going to take the drug test. I'm not going to take the job because my spirit was telling me that something was out. But they offered me the job. So I'm like, why did these motherfuckers must really need some help, or they really just want to get me there because you got to pass the drug test to get the job. And they gave me the job before I passed the drug test. That was the first red flag. All right. So the HR lady, her, the lady with the blonde hair that communicated with me, there was I guess he was considered the plant manager. He was a black guy. I know what he looked like. He was in there bragging about all the degrees and stuff that he had. He is ex-military. There was a couple people in there that was ex-military. So I'm going to disclose that. It was them 3 black people, and then there was a supervisor. Her name was Daphne or something like that. her, they all seemed to know what was going on, okay? And then they had the people that came in and started with me. There was 2 people that, like, they was in charge of getting information. I don't remember the girls' names, but I remember what they looked like. And so they was over there talking to me about stuff. They was talking about drugs. One of them was talking about she was a drug dealer and she was doing this and doing that. And I had, I was telling them that I had, I won't smoking weed or nothing no more. I had quit smoking weed or whatever. It's like they was trying to, they was digging for information. Both of the girls was. One of them was a he, she, and one of them was a regular girl. I think both of them was was younger than me, if I'm not mistaken. But we sat and we talked about, just life and stuff like that while we was over there working that day. But like I said, I only worked one day. But and then we had to go and talk, and then the dude, like the black guy that was like the plant manager, ex-military, he was like, I don't know, it's like he felt intimidated by me, because while we was in there and he was having his little talk, he was talking about all his degrees, and then he was talking about this and that, and he was making eye contact like he was trying to see what my body language was reading, because he said he had like degrees in psychology and stuff like that. He was trying to see my body language and stuff while he was talking and doing what he was doing. So I think that they were, like I said, they were trying to see what they could do to get a reaction out of me, if, I would be intimidated by their authority and things like that. They were just doing some research on me. And that's why they gave me the job. But he was making a lot of eye contact with me while I was in there. And then one on the day that I did actually work, when they had them girls over there asking me all them questions and trying to pry into my personal life and things of that nature, I noticed that he called the he had called the he-she, because the she knew people that worked there, and she was from the same place that the girl that was one of the girls that was bullying me from Woodspee was from. Was it Louisville? I think it was Louisville. Okay. But they was from the same place. And so she was, I think she was saying that she knew her or something like that, because she was asking me about her. That was another red flag, that she brought that up. And, I can't remember that girl name. But, I noticed that while we were working, because she knew people there already, that was another giveaway. They called her, the dude that was ex-military with all the 1,000 degrees and shit. They called her over there to like a far off distance, but where they could, from where I was sitting, I could see them. All right. And I could see her talking to him and the supervisor, Daphne, whatever her name is. Okay. And she was just standing over there talking. They was all looking at me. And so I'm looking like, I noticed it, because my energy and my ancestors, my spirit teams tell me, like, look at this, pay attention. So I'm paying attention. Like, I don't miss nothing. Like, I will play dumb on your ass, and you would think, like, oh, she ain't paying attention. She don't know what's going on. Nigga, I know what's going on. I'm just acting like I don't. Okay? And so, I noticed that they were talking to her after she had been asking me all those questions and getting information. And the dude that was ex-military with the 1,000 degrees, I can't remember his name, but he was like the plant manager or some shit like that. I don't know, his body language and his energy read like he was thirsty to find out information about me. All right, he was thirsty to find out what she found out. That's what his body language read when I was looking at him and when they was talking all in that group. All right, so I worked that one day, and then, after that, my spirit was like, don't go back. And so I didn't. So, because when I got back home, I'm real big on, like, my kids. So, like, my toddler, like, I ain't letting him be around just anybody. I ain't letting nobody just keep him. I ain't gonna have no negative influences around him. Nobody trying to turn him against me or nothing. I've had negative experiences with daycares where they've starved him all day. You know, they've mistreated him. They've allowed other kids to bully him and things of that nature. So I just stay home with my baby, and I just do what I got to do, and, you know, do what I got to do as a result. Because I know he's safe, and I ain't got to worry about nobody doing nothing to him that's going to traumatize him, that where I'm going to have to heal him later and things like that. So I'd rather, you know, just keep him at home with me. And so that one day, I was like, well, you know, I let the big kids keep him that one day to take the job, and then I was going to figure out a daycare later. But when I got home, like my big kids, another thing I don't do is I don't make it my big kids' responsibility to keep him, you know, and take care of him for me, because they didn't have him, and I don't want to take their childhoods away from them like mine was taken from me. You know what I'm saying? And so I, you know, I just don't do that. And that was another reason too. Not only did I not have daycare, but you know, a good daycare at that. It wasn't a good daycare nowhere to fuck around, because all the daycares had done got the APV, hey, don't help her. And so everywhere I took them, you know, they were creating problems on purpose as a part of this organized crime. Sirchie Acquisition Company, LLC, 100 Hunter Place, Youngsville, North Carolina, 27596. Y'all need to get the records, emails, phone calls, video footage from when I was there the day of the interview, and I got that in my stuff. I'm gonna go get that and record it. And the day of the one day that I worked, there was also something else strange, like behind, like they had parking spaces in front of the building, but for some reason we had to park around the building where you couldn't see nothing. Okay, and I thought that was strange too. That was another thing that I didn't like, because I felt like, you know, anybody can come back here and do something to my vehicle while I'm in this motherfucker. And, you know, if they work within the company and they've been hired to do something to my vehicle, then, you know, then I'm just asked out. I knew they was trying to create an accident as well. And so that was another red flag, where they had us parked at. How they had the two girls questioning me, like it was like interrogation type shit, like they was prying into my business, like they didn't waste no time. How the HR lady, how they gave me the job, although I didn't pass the drug test. Before I didn't pass the drug test, because I ended up going to take the drug test, like after orientation or something, and then came back. Okay, or before I went that day. Yeah, before I went that day, she was like, go take the drug test and then come. So that's what I did. I went and took the drug test, passed the drug test, and then, you know, then went to the work. But so y'all need to get some eyes and some ears on this company. Once y'all get eyes and ears on this company, y'all find out how they link into this organized crime. Because I want to tell y'all what they do, but once y'all see, y'all be like, oh, okay, yeah, this was another one of they undercover out loud and programs where they getting the funding, but they saying they doing one thing, but they really doing another. It was something like that, okay? And there were, like I said, a couple people that were military affiliated within this company. Okay, like I said, I noticed all the red flags, and then I only worked there for one day. Something else, but they wanted me to get on here and tell y'all about them. Also, the HR lady, she went on a vacation after she landed me getting in the building. Okay, I told y'all that they like to send, Zoo, where you going? Hold on, Zoo. You need to get on the sidewalk. Or get over here to the left. Yeah, get on the sidewalk. Yeah, she went on a vacation. And she's from New York. That's significant as well. So She got ties to New York. She had just came off a vacation as well. But then she had to go out and do something else. It was some other trip that she had to take. Something of that nature. I'm trying to remember every single thing, but sometimes the stuff be a little blurry. But, you know, they'll bring it in when they need to bring it in. The main thing they want me to let y'all know is Sirchie Acquisition Company, LLC, 100 Hunter Place, Youngsville, North Carolina, 27596. Okay? They have participated in organized crime. There were quite a few people that worked there that were military affiliated. Okay, I know one of the military affiliated dudes. He said he had a degree in psychology, so I know that they were doing research on me. Okay, at that time, trying to figure out how they could get to me, get around the issues that they was having with getting to me. And so he was in his ego for real, because he just knew that whatever task they gave him, you know, they were studying me. They were studying me without my permission. Okay. And so they just wanted me to do a separate video about Sirchie Acquisition Company, LLC. I can't tell you what they do at the company, but the company information, like their address and their name, that's public information, so I can share that with y'all. I can also use my freedom of speech right to share my experience with them and to tell y'all about how they participated in organized crime, and to make sure that y'all get them on the roster for this organized crime ring. And like I said, the HR lady's assistant, the plant manager, who was a black dude. I know what all of they look like. If I seen them, Dalphine or Daphne, I had to look at my emails to see exactly what their names are. But those 4 people I know for sure. And then there were 2 young girls that came in with me posing like they were working for the company, that were working with them to try and get information. So like I said, one of them was Daphne or Daphne. I think it was Daphne, her aunt or something like that. Okay, so they were all in cahoots, and I was the target. So I just wanted to get on here because they threw this in my face this morning. I was not thinking about them. I told y'all some experiences I haven't, you know, I don't just sit and think about all the organized crime that has happened to me, you know, but then there are some things that I haven't spoke about that they will remind me of, so that I can give y'all the knowledge about what happened at this place, what people to get in touch with at this place, who to bring in for questioning, request the camera footage, get all the company's stuff, the company's you know, communication logs, everybody personal and business, you know, all that stuff, get on it. Okay, so that's all I got for y'all today. They just making sure we wrapping it up. They said we wrapping it up, and they want to make sure that we get everybody who participated. And so I hadn't even thought about these motherfuckers, but I'm sitting here looking at my W-2 that they sent me. And so they threw this on the floor, and I was like, how the fuck did this get? Because I had it stuffed down in some. And we were asleep last night, so the only explanation is the ancestors took it out and placed it on the floor so they can be like, oh yeah, remember what happened with this? So tell everybody what happened with this, because we getting ready to make sure all y'all go to prison. Okay? But if y'all liking the content, you know, like, subscribe to the channel. And turn on them notifications, okay? Because this is real life organized crime. This is real life. I'm a real life targeted individual. I'm somebody who, you know, the government has attempted to kill multiple times. The CIA is involved. The SBI. There are parts of the SBI that are involved as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the president know who the fuck I am. But they have me on this list of individuals, you know, to watch. because I am very spiritually gifted. They know who I am. They know what bloodline, what royal bloodline I come from. Although they did steal my identity when I was a child. They did say that I was dead. But I'm not dead. I am very alive and very well. There are people that have stolen my inheritance. People that have stolen my identity, stolen, property from me. And so this is a part of, God and my team, we getting justice, and everything that is for me is rightfully mine, is being given back to me. And everybody who went against me went against God, and they all going to prison. So they ain't gonna do that no more. So, and they're going to prison for life. But I just had to get on here and do what they told me to do. Come on, Zoo, we're going this way. Come on. You see that car? Do you see that car? He out here riding his new bike. But anyway, yeah, I just had to get on here and give y'all some information about Sirchie Acquisition Company, LLC. Gang stalking early this morning. They were sitting over there in the corner, just sitting. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all this morning. When they remind me about another experience that I've had, I'll come on here and tell y'all about that. But like I said, I've had a lot of experiences where there are lots and lots and lots and lots of companies who have participated in organized crime against me, targeted me, and, attempted to kill me, and, have done things to keep me down and all type of shit. So, this is my real life experience. I will not shut the fuck up. Y'all are going to prison. I'm not scared of none of y'all. I don't give a fuck if y'all send 1,000 fucking gang stalkers. And another thing too, when I was in Dollar Tree the other day, I told y'all about Holly Ridge, that last video, how they had created this whole thing with them and Hood, saying it was Hood. But they created all this shit saying this, that, and the third about some type of fucking inspection about Hood, but all they was worried about is the sockets. They came in trying to create a motherfucking fire that I ain't gonna tell y'all what I did, but ain't no fire starting in my apartment. But yeah, this is just another part of the organized crime, and it's so big because it's people in the CIA going down. It's people in the FBI going down. It's people in the SBI going down. Like, there are people in government agencies that are going down for going against me, or going down for stealing, judges, lawyers. Like I told y'all, it's real deep. Like, it's literally people in the military who have helped organized crime against me. So it's real big. So y'all gonna hear about it on the news. They making me famous because I'm gonna sue everybody. I'm gonna sue everybody, and everybody is gonna be civilly and criminally charged. So I just had to get on here and tell y'all about this company because they put it in my face and reminded me to do so. But I'm getting ready to get off here. I'll holler at y'all.